Hello, Taurus. Something in your world is shifting, and while others might not notice it yet, you can feel the tension beginning to tighten like a knot deep in your chest. You've spent so long trying to keep things steady, holding your family together with quiet loyalty and unshaken commitment, showing up in all the ways that don't make noise but make all the difference, and yet, something doesn't feel right anymore. You've tried to downplay it. I tried to tell yourself it's just a phase. But there's a growing pressure building in the spaces where you once felt safe. A family conflict is coming, not explosive in the beginning, but slow and silent, like roots pushing through concrete. And when it reaches the surface, it will touch you more deeply than anyone else. Because at the heart of it all is a truth you've carried quietly. You've been the one making it all work. And still, your presence has been taken for granted. This isn't about one argument or one moment. It's about the invisible weight you've carried for years, the way your care was expected but never acknowledged. The way your stability was used as a shield for others' chaos. The way people leaned on you but rarely asked how you were really doing. You don't ask for much. Taurus, you never have, but that doesn't mean you don't need. And this time, when the disagreement surfaces, it's not going to be about the surface level issue. It's going to be about everything. Everything you've kept inside just to keep the peace. Everything you've sacrificed so others could feel comfortable. Everything you've given in silence that no one even thought to thank you for. And you may find yourself saying things you didn't plan to say, truths that have lived inside your body for far too long. This isn't the end of your role in the family. It's the end of playing a version of yourself that no longer fits. You're not here to hold everyone else together while breaking apart inside. You're not here to be the quiet one, the reliable one, the one who never complains. You're here to be real. And if that means letting the ground shake a little, then so be it. You're not here to keep things calm. You're here to make them honest. And that starts now. You've held it together for so long, Taurus, that even you started to believe the story others told about you, that you're the strong one, the grounded one, the unshakable one, the one who doesn't need comfort, who doesn't cry, who doesn't break. But what no one saw, and what you were too tired to explain, is that being the foundation of a family doesn't mean you don't feel the weight. It means you feel all of it every single day. And you've just learned how to carry it without asking for help. You've become the steady hand everyone reaches for in their chaos. The voice of reason in every conflict. The planner, the fixer, the peacemaker. And in all that giving, you've been left behind in your own story, unseen in the very space you've built for everyone else to thrive. There's a kind of heartbreak that doesn't come from betrayal or loss, but from being chronically overlooked, from being treated like a role instead of a human being. You've sat at tables with people who say they love you, but who never ask how you're really doing. You've smiled through dinners where everyone passed around their opinions, but your silence was never questioned. You've been the one who shows up early, stays late, pays attention to the little things, but no one ever asks about the quiet ache that lives in your chest. They've mistaken your steadiness for invulnerability, your patience for agreement, your silence for peace. And over time, you've started to believe that maybe your needs are just too much. Or worse, not important at all. But deep down, that's not true. There's a version of you that's been whispering for years, what about me? The part of you that wants to be held instead of always holding others. The part of you that wants to be seen without having to earn it. The part of you that's exhausted from giving so much just to be tolerated, never truly celebrated. And the longer you suppress that voice, the louder the ache becomes, not in words, but in tension that lives in your shoulders, in sleepless nights, in moments where you suddenly feel like a stranger in your own life. You were never asking to be worshipped. You were asking to be understood, and there's a quiet pain in realizing how long you've been trying to survive in a home where no one really noticed what it cost you to stay silent. This is the part that no one talks about. This is the cost of being dependable. This is the loneliness of being the rock. You were never just a rock. Taurus, they may have called you that strong, solid, unshakable, but that was only ever part of the story. What they never saw was what lived beneath that still surface, because rocks don't bleed, but you do. Rocks don't break, but you have quietly, invisibly, in the privacy of your own heart. And the truth is, you were never meant to be stone. You've been a volcano in disguise, holding back wave after wave of unspoken emotion, swallowing your own fire so that others could feel safe around your silence. And for a while, it worked. You learned how to suppress the burn, how to keep the ground steady even as the pressure inside you climbed higher with every unmet need, every dismissed feeling, every time someone said, "You're fine," right, and didn't wait for the answer. The tension that's rising now didn't come out of nowhere. It's the harvest of years spent pushing down your truth in order to protect the people you love. This isn't about one comment, one slight, one forgotten birthday or ignored opinion. This is about the pattern, the deep, unchanging pattern where your presence is expected but never appreciated, where your help is received but never remembered, where your love is assumed but never reciprocated in full. And when the eruption finally comes, it won't be because you're angry over something small. It will be because your heart has been stretched too far for too long, and there's no more space left to hold it all in. You've spent a lifetime being told to not make it a big deal, to be the bigger person, to keep the peace, but all of that has come at a cost. And now your body, your spirit, your instincts, they know it's time. Because real peace doesn't come from silence. It comes from truth. And the truth is, you've been slowly burning on the inside while everyone around you assumed you were cool to the touch. That illusion is ending, not because you want to hurt anyone, but because you can't keep hurting yourself just to be who they want you to be. The pressure has reached its limit. The fire in you has something to say. And whether they're ready or not, it's going to be heard. If you were born between the 20th of April and the 30th of April, what's coming to the surface now has everything to do with your efforts, your work ethic, your achievements, the countless things you've built or carried through sheer consistency, and how little of that has been seen or celebrated by the people closest to you. You've been the dependable one, the provider, the one who shows up not just with resources, but with presence. And yet, when the room applauds, they somehow forget to turn toward you. Maybe they downplay your success, or maybe they act as if it's expected, like you don't need to hear that they're proud of you, but you do. And the pain that's been growing isn't about ego, it's about the quiet wound of being unacknowledged. You've done so much, not for applause, but from love, and still, love without recognition feels like being asked to prove yourself again and again to people who already benefit from your labor. This isn't just about your career, it's about the deep need to know that what you do and who you are actually matters to them. If your birthday falls between May 1st and May 10th, the ache forming now is more subtle, but no less cutting. It's the realization that your voice, your thoughts, your instincts, your suggestions are often treated as background noise. Maybe you're the one who speaks up gently, offering practical solutions, only to be overlooked or spoken over. Maybe you've sat in family conversations where your ideas are passed by, then repeated by someone else and suddenly taken seriously. And with time, That experience chips away at something inside you, not your intelligence. But your confidence, it becomes harder to share when it feels like your words carry less weight. You start to pull back, and they call you distant, but they never stop to ask why you stopped talking. The truth is, you've been living with the emotional fatigue of not being heard. And this conflict that's approaching will likely crack open that silence because your voice deserves more than polite nods or passive dismissal. It deserves space. And you're no longer willing to live on the sidelines of your own life? For Taurus, born between May 11th and May 20th, the pressure is coming from another place entirely. Your heart, you've given so much of yourself, your time, your care, your energy, and not because anyone asked you to. You gave because it's who you are. Because love, for you, is shown through consistency, through small acts of loyalty, through standing by people when things get hard. But what happens when that love isn't returned with the same weight? What happens when people grow used to your generosity? Start expecting it and stop appreciating it. You begin to feel used, not dramatically, not all at once, but slowly, like a light that dims because no one ever bothers to keep it burning. And now, in this moment, you're starting to see the truth that some people never truly valued what you gave them. They just enjoyed how easy you made their lives feel. And that realization, that's what's going to break the dam. No matter when you were born in this earthbound sign, Taurus, the root of your pain is the same. You've been giving more than you've been receiving in ways that others have normalized, whether it's your accomplishments, your voice, or your emotional labor. This conflict isn't just a blow-up, it's a breaking open. And this time, you won't be the one holding it in. You've earned the right to take up space. You've earned the right to be heard, honored, and loved without having to overfunction to deserve it. And now, for the first time in a long time, you're ready to stop proving and start protecting what's sacred inside you. And then it happens not with a scream, not with drama, but with a trembling kind of honesty that's been building inside you for years. A moment will come, Taurus, when something seemingly small, a dismissive comment, another overlooked effort, a conversation where you're once again expected to be the calm one, will push you past the quiet threshold you've carried for so long. And without warning, the words will rise not to attack, but to finally reveal. You won't say them with the intention to hurt, but they will hurt because they are true. And the truth is that you felt alone for a long time. Not because there was no one around, but because no one truly saw you. You felt like a pillar in a house where everyone leaned, but no one noticed when the cracks started to form. You've been the provider, the protector, the steady presence, and in return, you've been overlooked, expected, even taken for granted. This will be the moment when your silence turns into speech, not out of rage, but out of necessity. You'll speak of the nights when you kept it all together for others and cried only when no one was watching. You'll talk about the exhaustion of always being the one who stays calm while inside you are unraveling. You'll talk about how tired you are of being fine, of being the one who holds it all, of being reduced to your function while your feelings were left at the door like an afterthought. And in that moment, you will no longer be the quiet one. You will no longer be the strong one. You will be the real one. The one who feels, the one who bleeds, the one who finally speaks. But this eruption isn't destruction, it's liberation. This isn't about tearing your family apart. It's about reclaiming the parts of you that got buried under years of caretaking. Under roles you never asked for but felt obligated to play. The conflict that's coming is not an ending. Taurus, It's a birth. It's the painful but necessary beginning of a new version of you, a version that has boundaries, that no longer stays silent to keep others comfortable, that no longer makes themselves small to avoid being seen as too much. It's a version of you that says, I am worthy of being heard. I am worthy of being loved in return. I am no longer shrinking to fit into your comfort zone. And that is the medicine, because true healing doesn't come from pretending things are fine. It comes from standing in your truth. Even when your voice shakes, it comes from refusing to settle for conditional love, especially within your own family. It comes from finally recognizing that peace built on suppression is not peace at all. It's erasure. And you, Taurus, were never meant to disappear inside a role that others defined for you. You were meant to live fully, feel deeply, and love honestly. So when this wave crashes, let it. When the moment comes and you finally say, this is how I've felt, don't pull it back. Don't apologize for making others uncomfortable with your truth. Because the ones who truly love you will stay, and the ones who only loved your silence were never really seeing you at all. And the version of you that emerges on the other side of this, that version won't be smaller, softer, quieter. It will be stronger, not because you endured more, but because you finally stopped enduring what was never yours to carry in the first place. That's not just healing. That's freedom. So if you've been holding it in, Taurus, this is your sign to let it out. This isn't just another emotional moment. It's a turning point. The years you've spent being quiet, agreeable, reliable, they were never wasted, but they were never supposed to be your entire identity. What's coming next isn't about breaking the people around you. It's about finally choosing not to break yourself just to keep the peace. Let this be the moment you stop shrinking. Let this be the day you stop apologizing for needing love. Rest and recognition. You've done enough. You've been enough. And now you're allowed to ask for more. Not out of entitlement, but out of truth. The conflict that's rising may be uncomfortable, but it's not here to destroy you. It's here to reveal you the version of yourself that's honest, grounded, and finally free from playing small. You don't need to explain your worth, Taurus. You just need to stop burying it. This isn't the end. It's the beginning of the life you were always meant to live with. Your heart intact, your voice strong, and your boundaries clear. And this time, you're not doing it for them. You're doing it for you.